I'm Harry.
And I am Richard.
You have tuned into a very special edition of Dead Decks.
Dead Decks. Yeah, buddy. All right, buddy. Yeah. You're going to go to hell for lying all the time.
Well, I mean, it's special because we're here. And we're special.
Yeah, special because we're in the video.
So, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right.
Yeah, that's
How
good.
the hell are you?
Whatever. Nobody cares. So.
Nobody cares indeed.
It doesn't matter what I say. So, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about CCG investors. And are they evil? Scum of the earth. Like a dirty taint.
Yes. Big old piles of shit. Scourge of humanity.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
All that. That's the title.
Yep.
All 34 words.
I'm way too lazy to go back and rewind this and get it all right, so I'm sure the title will be appropriate. And this is, we're not talking just dead CCGs here. We're talking as broad market, the whole spectrum, live, dead, whatever. Is it are investors bad?
Bad shit, no.
Are investors bad for the market or the game or the entire genre? Yeah.
Are they bad for the environment?
What's your take, Richard?
Well, shit, we meant to turn off quick. No. I
See you.
No, but I am on the fence. I have seen some very vitriolic stuff from other YouTubers who are very anti-investors. If it wasn't for these fucking pesky investors, wouldn't have got away with it too.
Mm-hmm.
They screw up the whole game and hike up the prices and players can't afford it and it kills it and it's all investors' fault. That's, I mean, as with most things, I feel like the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. I don't think I don't think they fucked the whole game up at all. I invest, I splash invest a little bit, sort of halfway. And so we're mentioned on another video either before or after this one. It's worth saying again, I wouldn't believe you if you said investment is not any component of your interest in collectible card games. Like
Otherwise, you wouldn't be collecting them.
Exactly. If you knew they were always going to be worthless, you're trying to claim you're such a purist, you would do it just for the game, spend all this money on the materials, knowing they would never have any value. I'm not sure I'd believe you.
And if that's the case, as a counterpoint to all that, then why don't you just take pieces of cardboard, cut them up, make a complete proxy deck, and never buy a single card ever? Why do you give a fuck about buying the cards, Yeah. And if you're playing, tournament style, then, well, that's part of the plan is you got to go get the real stuff. Otherwise, just sit around the kitchen table and play proxy. Fuck it.
Yeah, and if you're going to admit there's at least a small value component to your interest in CCGs, then you have to know that investing is going to come along with that. Now, I think the ones that are most hated on are people who are viewed as pure investors, don't play the game, may not even understand the game, and they're doing nothing but flipping. But I mean, are they killing the world? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't either. The only time I could see that being problematic, and we've seen examples of this in the past couple of years, is when a game is brand new and there's a ton of hype surrounding it, and people that want to make money off of it get a hold of it quicker than everybody else. But the thing about that is the player base is alienated at that point, but you just have people flipping it back and forth to each other, which is, people talk about that. It's what happened with MetaZoo and Flesh and Blood specifically. And that likely was the case for a long time, especially until both of them came out with unlimited versions of their first editions or Kickstarters or whatever. Player base didn't get a chance to get their hands on the cards for reasonable amounts of money. But, the investors, they're the ones that were selling it back and forth to each other for, more and more money up into the moon. And of course, now all that, since the newness is worn off and there's nobody else to sell it to for $100,000, all that's come back to earth. Now, to be fair, I haven't looked at MetaZoo prices. I don't know what the first stuff is selling for, the Kickstarter stuff. I doubt it's at the peak of where it was in the 10,000 a box range, but it may be. I mean, those were really, really actually truly rare. But there's a lot of MetaZoos come out since then, and Richard bought a value pack at Walmart the other day for $10, and it had junk in it. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody would give a shit about any of that stuff. So now he's stuck with all this bulk that nobody fucking wants.
So he's stuck. I'm gonna rub them little cartoons on my nipples.
Well, but you know what I mean. And it's so all the hype of the player base can't get the hold of the cards. Well, now you can have all the fucking cards you want of both those games. And Magic, I contend that you could never do that to. You could never. One single investor could likely never corner a market on Magic. There's just too much of it out there. Now, if Wizards fucks up and the print run's way too low on the first round, you may artificially inflate the price for a bit. But we've seen that happen. Jumpstart was a good example. When it first came out, $175 a box, $200, whatever. Now today out of print, you can get that shit for less than $100. So if you wait long enough, and if it's still in print, it'll come back down. Now once it's out of print, all bets are off. People open that shit up. So then it's just how much is left in the world kind of a deal. And it doesn't matter what the fuck happens, investor or not. The seal stuff's going to be more rare, and it's going to cost more. That's all there is to it. That's everything. Anything that you're talking collectible that stays sealed will eventually go up in price because there's less of it in the world every day than there was the day before.
Yeah, pretty much.
And people will keep selling it sealed, and they just keep selling it around in the circle. It keeps getting sold. Eventually, it's going to stop somewhere and get opened, and it's going to be gone.
This taint rub motion you were doing.
Yep.
Yeah. Sure, what you said.
Yeah, words.
Yeah, well, I mean, to me it's a problem without a solution. If the balance shifts too far in any direction, you can fuck a game up, sure. If it's 95% investors, that's going to run players off and the game's going to crash. So, yeah, I mean, heavy investing can fuck it up, but as I was saying, I think that having value and some amount of investment is so baked into the CCG model, it's a problem without a solution. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, and look what happened when Flesh and Blood, when they upped their print runs where you can get your hands all over it, and it was no longer thousands of dollars a box. Now it doesn't even hold MSRP anymore. I think it will down the line. I think a lot of it's just panic moves right now. If you're sitting on sealed Flesh and Blood, I'd leave that shit sealed. I would never open it. I think you'll eventually be just fine. Just law of attrition will take care of that on down the line. Same thing kind of happened back early in Magic when Fallen Empires, 4th Edition, Ice Age, Homeland, Chronicles, all that shit happened. That likely almost ruined Magic because they way overprinted it and it was garbage shit that nobody really wanted. They took out all the power. And those four sets I said, there's probably 10 cards total in all those sets that are worth more than $10 today, 30 years later.
Yeah.
So, if you go too far the other way, then you have stuff that nobody cares about. I mean, yeah, Fallen Empires is $400 a box today, but if you open that box of cards, you're going to have $20 worth of cards. Not included if you get a graded PSA 10 and all that. Fuck, I'm not talking about that. Just book value, it's going to be garbage. So you gotta have a good balance.
Yeah, man, if you complain too much about investors, well, you don't know what would happen if there were none.
Right.
Maybe there's not enough people to carry any game if there weren't a certain percentage of people speculating. We don't know how many it is. Maybe it's 40%.
Yeah. Just
made that fucking number up, but maybe it is. Then what? You want them all to quit? And who knows if they're still going to keep printing the game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's probably not a right answer for this. It's it's never going to be clear cut, black, white, dry, wet. It's
It'll be one.
It'll be moist. Let's see if we can. How many people we can trigger with that word? Moist. My wife hates that word, by the way. So if you're watching this, babe, gotcha. Yeah, it's perpetual gray area. It's always going to piss people off one way or the other. So
yeah,
who fucking cares? Fuck off.
We're too apathetic to get too pissed about anything. No, really.
We're both players. And we're both Richard less so, but we're both investors. I have stuff that I'm sitting on, but there's nothing I have that would influence a market, even on the dead side. I don't know that I have anything that would ever. Now, if I had a couple of games where I dumped it all in the market, I'd screw myself. But that's about it.
Yeah, I get where people are coming from when they say if you don't care about the game, you're not a CCG lover, you're only dabbling in this world to make money, and you're raising prices for the rest of us. Fuck you. Fair enough. But I mean, really, is it worth all that getting that tore up about.
Yeah, but if you're a stock investor, are you involved with every single stock that you invest in? I know some people are. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, don't come at me that nuanced bullshit. Well, I do. I check every fucking stock I invest in. No, yeah, okay, fuck you. But most people, let's have a mutual fund or something. There's 30 different fucking stocks in it. They don't sit around and pay attention to every single one of them. For me, it's kind of the same concept.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's
it has liquidity at some point in the game's lifespan. If it survives and it takes off, then it's good for everybody. If they soak up all the product and nobody can play, and it crashes and burns, well, they're left holding the bag. So I don't know. There's risk there both ways. So.
Well, I've got boxes that I'm sitting on, never plan to open or sell. Who knows? But I don't intend on it. So, by that, I'm raising the prices too.
Yeah.
I've pulled it off the market and I'm keeping it. So I guess I'm bad too.
You damn evil investor.
I don't even want to flip it, but I've still fucked up the prices for you all. So,
I got you.
Yeah, whatever. I like it on my shelf.
It's pretty.
All right, well, shit. How we do then?
Yeah, good enough.
I fucking think we did. Yep, buddy.